beat J-Team, and I cannot say I am any more excited because it means we're getting on to the Rift here for Game 1 of the PCS.
Whoop, whoop, woo! Let us go. So hyped. You're right. We're finally getting started, and I am still assessing what the picks are, what the final picks are going to be. And as we can see, it is a support Leona being picked at the draft that we saw earlier. So we'll see what this level 1 is going to be.
Give me that level 1 right now. Go. Oh, they didn't fight. Anyway, we're on to the Rift. Game 1 of the PCS is underway. And J-Team already starting things off with a heavy invade onto the bot side of the map. They are seen out, though, by AHQ.
All right, just scouting around, seeing whether or not they can clear the wards in that area. And it looks like it's going to be mission accomplished, as none of the wards actually has been placed. Either has been dewarded already by J-Team, as we can see one trinket being not yet, yeah. I was lost a little bit.
Oh, look at this. Look at J-Team. They're playing spicy. They're trying to see whether or not anyone's going to actually, be curious enough to go up here. Because usually a Rek'Sai doesn't ever really need the blue buff, so you rarely actually do it. So you can see already AHQ, they're going to try and respond immediately, try and get up toward the top side of the map of J-Team's jungle and get that red buff. Oh my, this is, like, they're trying really hard, J-Team, to be a sneaky pair. And yeah, Uniboy's going to spot it out, so that will just be the trade of buffs and likely topside jungle here on the side of AHQ. So Kongyu will be on the same pace. Yeah,
totally understandable. Why not take advantage of the thresh that you have? But now we have the bottom lane, Waco and Ysera, taking advantage of being in that in the lane earlier, but now Rest just giving it to Ziv right now.
Yeah, early on, Rest, I think he's actually not too bad into this matchup. I'm interested, though. Usually Gangplank is a heavy focus when it comes to jungles if a Gangplank's ever locked in.
Yes.
And, ooh, Civ here.
Ooh.
Gotta show some respect. Rest is trying to force him out of lane, and he will get likely the teleport out here. That's impressive coming out from Rest to start things off.
Now at this point as well, trying to interrupt the Krug clear by the bot lane of AHQ. Well played, and now trying to clear that ward as well. So Raptors, everything pretty much cleared by AHQ's jungler. So I suppose it is a win. Hana really wants to force this, as he already lost his Krugs from Kongye at the top side of the map.
Well, Hana's going to try and do this again.
Yeah.
Yursa's just going to pop on over. He's just going to show himself, and Hana has to back off. And with the help of Krugs, they're going to get some extra damage. Only level 1, though, here on the side of HQ. They're just going to try and force that Sejuani to back off. The whole time, this allows the Rek'Sai to keep farming up. She's, Kongyu is already level 3, but that's going to be a flash engage coming out on Woody from the Flay. Level 2 is going to connect, and there's also going to be a teleport coming on down. Rend is available, but they will not be able to finish off the kill. Yursa going to get taken down. That's first blood of the PCS going in favor of Lil V, and Nesty going to follow up with a kill of their own.
Super insane. Now we have 3 people or 4 people in the map earlier coming from JT. Super explosive, getting first blood, getting 1 tower plate as well. I suppose that is a huge win in terms of getting that early kill.
Yeah, let's take another look here. Even with the Silas coming down, and luckily for Hana, he was never tagged during this fight, and he was the one who got executed to the tower.
Absolutely, and Waco had nowhere to run. Flash already being used. Great tower juggle as well from JT. So absolutely amazing.
Uni just got a bloody free teleport back to lane off that spell thief. That is like
that is wow.
Getting that in the first 4 minutes is ridiculous. That is lucky.
Lucky.
Whew. I would love to have a free teleport back to lane as a mid lane. Man, and still have Ignite.
What are the odds? Yeah, every summoner spell still intact, but yep, there's Nesty getting that first kill as well, making him be open to aggression at this point. Nicely done by Nesty against Uniboy here.
Interesting, we're seeing the Silas pop back up into play as of late. We've seen it, it looks a couple times actually during the LPL scrim, so I was interested to see if we were going to see it over here in the PCS, and already getting 1 kill and 1 assist here on the side of J-Team. They're only up by 300 gold though, but it's a little concerning for the side of AHQ. Not the start you're necessarily looking for. Civ here though has recovered very well. If you take a look at the CS difference, he's going to be up almost double over Rest after being forced out of lane first.
Yeah, absolutely. I think for Ziv, after getting that first back and managing to get at least level 3, he's in a definitely better position against this matchup with the Gangplank. So as long at this point though, we're gonna see a blue buff take by AHQ, very aggressive. So trying to pick up the pieces from what happened in the bottom side of the map. So Kongye just doing his best here to take as much resources as he can, as Hana has been super active in the ganking department.
Yeah, but he is the encounter jungle quite aggressively here. The Rek'Sai, again, that's going to be a blue buff taken away, and that's about 10 CS difference when it comes to the jungle. Meanwhile, though, our first dragon of the PCS, it's going to be a Mountain Drake to start things off, so we'll see whether or not HQ wish to try and get on top of that early, or whether or not J-Team is going to try and answer. You already see the Rek'Sai going to barrel on in, and that's going to be easy. Let's see whether or not that Ghost actually spots this.
Ooh.
And yeah,
yes,
it will,
they do.
so they do know, but they didn't know. The Rek'Sai hasn't shown up on the board, so they didn't actually get to see it pop up on the mini-map. Now they're going to see it go away, but AHQ already have the dragon secured.
Yeah, and the priority as well for the bottom side, or for the bottom laners of AHQ as well. This is a very smart take, as well as a lot of control vision, control wards in every brush you can think of. So it's really difficult for JT to spot this out, especially if they don't have priority in the bottom side of the map. But now that is the first dragon of the game. AHQ managed to try to get their foundation correctly in the early phases of the game.
Yeah, so first dragon there. Still, though, 600 gold lead in favor of J-Team. And we'll see what our first item backs are going to be. I already got a Tiamat finished off here for Ziv, so that's going to help with him pushing back the wave against the Gangplank. Uniboy now hitting level 6. We'll see if he can hit some snipes. And Ness can also look to try and steal away some ultimates here, as Scuttle Control going to go on over to J-Team and around the Rift Herald.
Absolutely true. I wonder, in terms of like value, what are the best ultimates to steal coming from Nesty? I suppose big boy damage probably up against maybe a bullet time steal perhaps, or maybe a Sarah's ult as well to start things off.
Yeah, if you get that Solar Flare ultimate off to Leona, you'd be pretty happy for Engage.
Yep.
It'd be easy to land afterwards, too, on the Sejuani ultimate.
Agreed.
You have a lot of ultimate control actually coming out from JT. You're going to have the Global from the Gangplank later on in the game. That's going to be able to help when he's on the other side of the map. Split pushing. Meanwhile, Ziv is going to have to be with the team to actually make an impact. And oh, that's unfortunate. Minion just moved a couple steps too far forward, and Leona's like, peekaboo, I see you.
I wonder if Woody has been spotted already here. I suppose not yet, but it seems to me the Ysera decides to stick around and probably try again, as we see the Rek'Sai just lurking around, see if they can collapse with a 3-man. But I guess it's out of the question as we see Ysera moving back to the lane.
Yeah, some pings, though, coming out to Rift Herald immediately by AHQ, so they might want to try and get some pressure. I think Civ is just going down there to get vision on it. They weren't sure whether or not J-Team tried to rush that, as Rest actually left the lane. Meanwhile, though, Bot is going to get pushed in by JT. And meanwhile, Wako and Ysera are going to have to collapse that. But look at this. AHQ looking for a roam. We'll see whether or not Footy's going to actually take the bait, and he will. Zenith Blade, oh, not going to connect here. That would have to be a flash forward, and the bubble miss! Oh, that's a little bit tragic here. Maybe some, nerves coming to the table first game of the series.
Super duper close, not being able to connect those key skills to start off a fight. Let's see what response does Hana do as probably a possible lane gank, as there's no vision whatsoever except that brush nearby, spotting out Woody. They know, there's the ward, they're gonna clear it out, but Rek'Sai is also nearby. Kongye is nearby as well.
Yeah, they gotta be a little bit careful here, so we'll see. Looks like JT, they're gonna be able to push up forward and get control. Air Dragon gonna be joining us in 2 minutes though, so nothing really up on the table to contest, just the vision. Look at this though, AHQ might be looking for a play here in mid, but the Rek'Sai spotted out by a minion, so
again,
nothing's really a surprise here for J-Team. Looks like it'll just be back to a little bit of a calm before the storm, before our next objective, which is going to be that Air Drake. Yeah,
looks like they managed to force a flash from out of Nesty in the mid lane after that gank from Kongye. So he's forced to go back and buy a couple of items, recuperate, forced to use a teleport as well, which I think is not a big problem, as he won't be able to, the teleport won't be detrimental anytime soon. And now we see Rift Herald getting started, and it's just a juggle of map control at this point between JT and AHQ.
Well, let's see here. Rift Herald is going to be started up. The Sylas is going to steal away the Rek'Sai ultimate, so we'll see whether or not that's used for anything. Pings are coming out from AHQ. They did see the Sylas come in onto the pit. Woody and Livido are over to support, so 4 members of J-Team, and that is going to be Shelly going over to them here to start things off.
Interesting. Plan by JT after moving to Rift Herald, deciding to go back at the top side of go to the top side of the map. Good clear as well, coming from Rest, denying a couple of turret plates from Waco as he has no threat whatsoever in the bottom side of the map.
Oh.
Yummy, yummy gold for the 4 members of the team.
That's going to be a crash.
Yeah.
Honestly, if you're on the side of AHQ, you could get dove here if you're not too careful.
Ooh.
There's your big chunk of damage coming through. Hook is not going to land from Woody. Was aiming for Civ. But with that, that should be 3 plates going on over to J-Team here. Just weren't able to finish it. But still, plenty of gold being injected over there onto the Callista and the rest of the crew. 5 members, though, of J-Team are up toward the top side. Meanwhile, though, you still have this Misfortune just pushing away in bot lane. So Waco's going to get himself some turret plates of his own. He's going to get the solo gold as well.
Exactly. It's going to be funneled. Kongyo is going to bump into Nesty.
Yeah, going to go ahead. That Hail of Blades Rek'Sai is dangerous. Does not pull the trigger, though, onto the ultimate to try and finish him off. And that's just your rune choice coming in there. Hail Blades on the Rek'Sai just with the Q. Absolutely ridiculous, especially into the 1v1 skirmishes early on in the game.
Yeah, absolutely. I suppose Kongyue was a little bit 50-50 there, not going all in. He doesn't know where the rest of the members from JT is. And now we see the next dragon of the game with JT.
A bit concerning here, though, on the side of J-Team. You look at the gold difference, it's pretty much back to even.
Yeah.
And you can contribute that a lot to the CS differences that are coming into the lane. You see that Zoe already almost up 40 CS at 12 minutes. We mentioned this was kind of the matchup we wanted to look at mainly for this 2 squads. And the fact that, Nesty, we were a little concerned, hey, he hasn't been playing mid lane competitively at all. He's only been in support and the jungle. Sure, he can do well in solo queue, but right now it's not looking that great here as he's got the 1 kill and assist, but Uniboy is going to get a decent chunk of damage if he actually lands the Battlestar.
Yeah, nicely done sidestep by Nesty, but yes, this is most likely the expected matchup between Nesty and Uniboy and the Zoe, and as well as the Sylas. Tons of range, tons of poke coming from Uniboy, and therefore a lot of, threat and pressure against the Sylas. But now you see Kongye starting the dragon again, potentially AHQ's 2nd dragon of the game.
Let's see here.
Yeah, no contest.
That's great, though. AHQ, they're going to get 2nd Drake, and we're going to have ourselves Infernal taking over the Rift, I do believe, as that's going to be our 3rd dragon of the game. AHQ, though, they're going to be happy. They also got themselves some extra cooldown reduction when it comes to their ultimates. Meanwhile, top lane, though, Civ just jumping on to Rest at this point, has Flash available, and he'll get himself over the thick wall in top lane. But still, Civ put it on pressure here, and this top lane matchup is looking a bit heavy-sided in toward AHQ.
Super worth, let's see.
Oh, he's even pressuring to dive.
Oh, wow. Okay, so now that there's no wave whatsoever, he's going to try to get this one
Oh,
lead. That's
so close! He's got another wave pushing in.
Yeah.
He should get it before 14, so he'll get himself a chunk of gold. Onto that Renekton, who also, we talk about lane matchups, now up 30 at 13. It feels like the individual lanes so far for AHQ have been able to hold up. Their bot lane, sure, they were able to get the dive, but at this point, the rest of the team has been able to keep even.
Absolutely, and the funnel earlier coming from the Misfortune, we see that an Essence Reaver already in the pocket of Waco, so definitely once the next fight comes, which I doubt will happen anytime soon as there are no objectives to take at the moment aside from the towers that they would like to push. But at this point, HQ is very satisfied with their game plan of being a little bit more patient and just aiming for dragons and see if they can make a pick-off, or rather be more reactive whenever JT decides to be a little bit more aggressive later on.
Saw there a little bit of the gold graph over the course of the game. Now back in favor of AHQ. They've been able to regain everything off the turret plates as well as the CS differences. We even take a look there. We're going to see some item buys, though, come out here, so Lil V should be able to get his first full completed item. They've been sitting on about 1,500 on that Callista, so we'll see if they want to go straight attack speed. And we see the Bork. It's been a while since I played Callista, actually, so I don't know what the exact build is off the top of my head.
Yeah, definitely. We'll have to see, as Ziv already, again, has complete control over this lane against Rest. So at this point, he must be careful as we see pings coming from Hana here. At the top side of the map, no vision whatsoever is coming from HQ at the deeper jungle parts of JT, but still, you know, playing the lane safe and just pushing. And we get our first tower of the game, HQ.
Yeah, HQ, first tower, gonna go onto this Misfortune, has the completed Essence Reaver as well. So Waco scaling up just fine when it comes toward these team fights, and with that bot pressure too being there, HQ can try and push up into the jungle, get more coverage. They need to clear out some of these control wards laid down by J-Team though, so they're kind of being tracked as they go through. But once they have that fully controlled, they can just go ahead, secure that third dragon rather easily that's coming up in 2 minutes.
Absolutely. Silas definitely protected. Nesty definitely protected in the mid lane at this point. Just they have a lot of eyes on where the Rek'Sai is going to be, Kongye is going to be rather, and the next Rift Herald is going to spawn next, so the timing is perfect. But we see a couple of backs from Lil V and Woody and Waco defending that turret at the top side of the map. We'll see what the next move is going to be for both of these teams.
Yeah. Kongye, he's got himself that completed Warriors enchantment as well. Very nice upgrade to have. The gold efficiency off that alone is insane. So the earlier you can get it on your jungle, the better. Paired that with a little bit of lethality coming in from the Dirk. And, oh, look at here. HQ looking for a play, but they go straight over control ward. So the Callista is going to be perfectly fine. But with that control, though, HQ can be the ones that actually set up for Rift Herald. And if you're J-Team now, it's a little concerning. You're starting to give up a lot of objectives on the map. Luckily, them positioning just a little bit aggressively is enough to force HQ to have to reconsider, but they're able to keep the aggro.
Yeah, Nesty does have teleport if he wants to join the fight later on. Now that's a reset on the Rift Herald. What is the plan for J-Team? They managed to buy some time. But at this point, Nesty is shoving the wave down bot with Civ pushing earlier.
Yeah, Civ is rejoined, so they don't have an answer to this push in bot lane. It's still only at the first tier tower on the right side. Look at that. They're fishing for the bubble. Not going to fully commit, though, as now Rift Herald is just hidden around the corner. And HQ really just want to take this with the least amount of conflict, it looks like to be their plan here, as they're able to re-engage it. Who's actually going to take it?
Oh,
okay.
Expired.
Bubble back onto the Thresh. That's going to be a teleport. This is just messy from both squads here. I'm going to blame it, you know, first game of the league. Maybe they're a little hesitant to actually go here. Nesty going to go ahead, steal away the ultimate from the Renekton. Leona positioning aggressively, goes in onto the Zenith Blade. It's going to get secure. Bullet time, though, onto the backside of J-Team, and they get obliterated, but no one goes down. All low health bars at this point, and Civ was not able to finish off a single kill. Uniboy, though, goes on over the wall, had the active from the Bork, from the Callista. Pick that up. It's going to be a 1-for-1. The question, though, is which team secured Rift Herald? It went on over to J-Team.
Okay, JT managed to secure the Rift Herald, yes, after a very, very messy back and forth between the two teams. But at this point, let's take a look at a replay first. And looks like it is JT that managed to get the Rift Herald. Nicely done bullet time by Waco, which means JT is not healthy enough to try and take on the fight. Now they're on the run, and Nesty, unfortunately, is behind the squad, and I guess it's a good trade, I suppose, but they lost Dragon. That's the third Dragon already for AHQ.
Yeah, I'm a little disappointed coming out from AHQ. That was actually a rather decent bullet time. You saw how low those health bars went.
Yes.
No one committed, though. You didn't have the Rek'Sai try and tunnel on in. I don't know if his flash was up to try and jump in there as well.
Yeah.
I think there was a lot more opportunity for AHQ to clean up. But like you mentioned, they got themselves their third dragon. Now they're prepping themselves for a Dragon Soul if they get it off spawn at 23 minutes. Very early into the game. J-Team, though, how do they utilize this Rift Herald, and how do they look to try and set up when it comes to the next objective, being this Infernal Drake or even possibly that Baron?
Absolutely. We'll see where they're going to decide to put that down, as perhaps they have eyes in the mid parts of the map to open that a little bit, especially that their mid lane has already been taken, if I'm not mistaken.
Hasn't been taken just yet.
Yeah,
It's still,
okay. Like,
it's still just the top
it's still
lane.
standing tall. My bad.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's still the top lane and still the spot lane here. But look at this. You got themselves the Rift Herald. It's going to be popped here on the side of J-Team. We'll see whether or not they are able to get themselves enough damage to take down the tower. Oh, it did get
nice
chunked, though.
eye.
So nicely done by Civ here. He's actually going to be able to save it as they look for a dive. Renekton ultimate is still available here at this point. Civ can try and go for the 2v1. T is still tanking underneath the tower. They swap it on back toward Hana, but unfortunately, they went a little bit too far. Xenoblade not going to connect. A beautiful lantern coming out from the Thresh. But meanwhile, in top side and into the mid lane, you see themselves pushing in. And let's take another look here on the dive.
Wow, this is super brave coming from JT, attacking Ziv with the ult as well, and nicely done by Ziv in terms of trying to bait and moving forward just to get that eye, just to get that chunk off the Rift Herald. And I think it didn't even need the help of Ysera at this point because the 2v1 was working super well for Ziv. So that ult was just to slow things down, and Woody to the rescue, I suppose, but Ziv played that 2v1 super well.
So nicely done here. They did at least get the one tower. It was traded back, though, on the side of AHQ, so those objectives stay neutral. Well, let's take a look toward our gold ranking. Currently, 80 carries sitting at the top of the table, and that's where you want to see both the gold. You want to see a decent amount of damage onto that MF when it comes to the team fights. And Lil V, once they get themselves likely that Hurricane, can be a bit of a monster. And it's going to be who gets caught out, the Kalista or the MF in most cases. That's kind of what these fights might come down to.
That's true. It's all about who gets to pull the trigger first. But when I look at JT's composition, they have so much wombo combo. They have so much hard CC to try and burst someone down once they start a fight. I guess the awkward thing, that if we look at the past clashes, is that it was AHQ always pulling the trigger and catching them off guard. Once they get all that damage in, especially with Waco's bullet time, it's going to get even more painful as the game progresses.
Well, let's see here. Hurricane finished off for the Kalista. HQ are going to try and respond into this mid lane. Still minute 30 when it comes to our next Infernal Drake. And on the side of JT, they've been able to actually get themselves a nice position on toward the bot side of the map. So they can look to try and defend against this Infernal take on the side of AHQ, but that does leave open the top side of their map. They have put the Silas up there. Teleport should be available for the time for that fight, though, so you can look and try and split push.
Absolutely. I agree with JT pressuring the mid parts of the map. That's still a pretty healthy tower if you ask me. Hana in a very dangerous spot. Not.
Oh, that's going to be, of course, the ultimate coming out from Hana. Ysera going to try and use his ultimate. Woody gets chunked, but there is the Gangplank ultimate to help finish off the kill, as they're able to catch out the Leona. 50 seconds, though, onto the Dragon spawn, so a little bit too early to try and take home any kind of large advantage off this on the side of J-Team, but they do stall out AHQ.
Absolutely. That was a great pickoff. Like, imagine the damage if it were someone else. But yeah, you're right. It was a little bit too early. 27 seconds on the clock before, or after rather, Ysera will respawn back. I was going to say, Hana, that's a scary position, but the rest of the team of JT was there. Easy chunk. Woody was chunked out super duper low, but they managed to retreat, and I guess Dragon is going to spawn in a few, seeing pings here and there already.
All right, so let's see here, though. 10 seconds when it comes to our Infernal Dragon. And now AHQ looking to set themselves up in toward the river. That's even going to be the GLP being used here. Uniboy, oh, look at that. He got himself an extra smite here. So AHQ have themselves 2 smites available if they want to try and go for this. J-Team, though, they try and answer back and push back. Scuttle's going to expire here soon, so there's not going to be a movement speed buff in the river on the side of red. Let's see. 50-50 now. HQ going to start up. The Infernal trying to go for a bullet time. Going to come out here, and they get themselves the Infernal Soul. But what is the cost in the end here? Civ going to use his ultimate, and he shreds apart the side of J-Team. He's able to get to safety here, and no one on the side of HQ goes down, and they get themselves Infernal.
That's crazy. That's an amazing win coming from AHQ. Again, no one has died. I thought Civ was going to be the next one to fall, the first one to fall. But my, he's just that tanky. He had flash. He flashed over the wall, and that is a win-win. They get the Dragon Soul, and AHQ is super happy about that, not even losing their tower in the mid lane as well.
Yeah, Civ popping off there is able to survive. with just using the ultimate. And once the fact that he got the Infernal Soul there too, what he did, of course, the slice and dice, whoo! He just shredded apart 4 people in the middle of the pit. That's brutal. And now this J team, they have to look at the possibility, okay, now AHQ can try and go for Elder Dragon, and we're starting to really lose out in some of these fights.
Yeah, it is super painful. It's like, at this point, JT is in a very awkward position where they're forced to do something at this point because AHQ has a humongous lead with the dragons that they have, and now JT has eyes on the Baron because that is definitely the next step for AHQ to try and push on with their lead even further.
Let's see here. Going to advance over on the side of AHQ as they look to try and push in onto this first tier tower. Still available here for J-Team, and it's going to act a little bit as a bastion when it comes to map position.
Ooh.
That's rather aggressive coming out from the Leona, though. That's going to be 3 members on top of him. Gangplank Ultimate also going to be there. Hana, though, he's burning down, able to survive. But there comes the Rek'Sai Ultimate onto the back line. They find the kill. It does get traded back, though. A 1-for-2 in favor of AHQ. They do lose their jungle, though.
They lose, JT loses their jungle and their mid laner as well. This opens up the mid lane, opens up more opportunities for them later on when they want to take that Baron. And that is quite a long death timer as well, but AHQ decides to back away and respect that. But let's take a look at the replay. You know, Isera, I was really afraid for Leona, but again, super tanky. The rest of the members are there as well. So I guess this is kind of revenge for the jungle invade from earlier and picking off Isera. So again, 2 for 1. HQ doing an amazing job here in just furthering their lead.
Yeah, they only just got the lead, though, off this third tower. Remember, J-Team actually did have gold advantage. So there is this kind of late game, you know, scary possibility here on the side of J-Team that the Gangplank keeps getting bigger. If Callista keeps getting bigger, it's you know, it's almost a timer starting to tick here for AHQ. They have this Infernal Soul. They should try and get some of these fights down, or there's that possibility J-Team just scale back up.
Absolutely, and a Guardian Angel already completed as well for Lil V. Lil V doing an amazing job here with 302 as well with 700 gold bounty. So Guardian Angel completed, Hurricane, Bork. I'm sure JT is just itching to find the perfect fight for them because they, so far, they haven't exactly found the perfect opportunity just yet. So at this point, Baron would be the next juicy target, and as well as for AHQ, they are very confident, especially that they have 4 dragons and as well as a Dragon Soul for them.
Let's see, Rest goes ahead, clears out the wave with a barrel. 2.5 minutes until we have Elder. AHQ, though, positioned towards up the Baron. We'll see some pings. Just try and play hide and seek here as the Vision's in their control. J-Team decides they don't want to push too much farther as AHQ have that line of wards across the riverbeds. And that bot lane is going to start pushing up in towards their favor, so J-Team is going to at some point have to deal with that. Rest does have teleport available, so that is a good sign for them if they want to try and clear that out, but how much are they going to give up here? J-Team are just kind of letting AHQ take full control.
Yeah, absolutely. And as well as a wave slowly pushing at the bottom side of the map. But you're right, Rest can respond to that and teleport later on. This is so sneaky. They want to start something. They're looking for that pickoff. See if they can manage to get at least one, open up Baron for them, because all waves are definitely in favor for AHQ at this point.
Well, this is a scary thing here, because for AHQ, you've kind of lost the window where you could try and go for a Baron attempt.
Yeah.
And if you wanted to back off, you'd have enough time to reset for Elder. Now if you try and go for it, and you lose the fight, you can also lose Elder at this point. So they've just decided to back off for now. And I think their focus is, hey, we'd rather just take that Elder. But if that's the case, J-Team can just try and respond here with the Baron.
Which is totally understandable. Try to play safe at this point since you've been winning the past, I don't know, 2 or 3 clashes that happened for AHQ. They managed to get the objectives that they want. So yeah, they felt like maybe Elder Drake would be the less risky, what do you call this? Less risky objective to take rather than risk it for Baron. But at this point, it's because a lot of vision has been invested for JT at the top side of the map.
Let's see here. J-Team looking to position aggressively. We'll see
Oh
here,
my
though.
gosh.
Oh, no, Zero Waco. Oh, he's able to juke out away from the Glacial Prison. Now the hook's going to connect. Bullet Time, though, is going to come and rain down and get some damage back onto the side of J-Team, but they take down the Misfortune. Nesty going to get taken down, and Zip is in the back line, tearing apart J-Team at this point as they're looking to run back on the hills. They still have the GA on the Callista, but they are able to back off. But in the end, AHQ, they're able to find 3 members of J-Team and Elder Spawns in 1 second.
Wow, I was so worried for Waco here. There's Hana, unfortunately missing the prison, but the death sentence connected. But the thing is, she managed to channel the full bullet time before Waco fell through the battle. So at this point, Ziv was also a major problem in the team fight for JT. So even though they have eliminated the problem, the AD carry, it was still Ziv just ruining the lives of the backline of JT.
And on top of that, that's going to be Elder Dragon secured on the side of AHQ. And if you're JT, that is a scary couple minutes here.
So at this point, Waco's bullet time. If none of the targets are not, I'm pretty sure everyone's gonna be done for sure. But whew, I am so scared for JT Opal right now.
I gotta give credit though. Siv's been an absolute monster this game. He's found himself in the flank a couple times now with the teleport. He's able to shred apart J-Team during that last fight. Elder Dragon secured. They're going to go ahead and start up now the Baron. You can't let away both of these neutral objectives on your side of J-Team. We'll see whether or not they try and respond themselves. 5,000 on the Baron. Hana looking for the steal. Whether or not he's actually going to be able to get in there is the other question. Messi going to go ahead, steals away, but they just jump on top of him, and that is AHQ securing the Baron. They won't be able to find anything else, but now both neutral objectives in their favor. AHQ can look for the siege.
Beautifully done by Ysera here, timing that correctly, just denying any sort of attempt coming from Hana. AHQ now wins every single objective that has spawned in the map, and now they're taking towers away from JT at this point. They are strong, they are scary, and now they're marching towards the base of JT.
See whether or not, though, they want to go for the full commit. Still waiting on the next wave to now crash in onto the inhibitor tower. Flash is there, but still nothing going to go through. Oh, they go ahead, they catch out the Sejuani jungle down, and Woody's also going to get caught up. Now there's the flash on forward coming out from Kongyu. Able to get the knock-up, but they don't get anything else. But now the inhibitor starts to fall, and J-Team, they're on the retreat, but you're unfortunately in the middle of your base. Bullet Time takes out Woody, and unfortunately this Callista can do absolutely nothing, because guess what? Shiv is in the back line, 1v3 at this point, and just like that, AHQ, they go ahead, and they take home the victory in the first game of the PCS.
Insane coming from AHQ. That was just complete control over the map. I mean, there was a weird dance with a Rift Herald, and I'm absolutely sure that was super worth. And J-Team couldn't pick up the pieces, and it was just AHQ all over them.
Yeah, AHQ gonna go ahead and they take home the victory over J-Team to start things off as we come back over to our caster desk. All right, AHQ. Not a bad start here.
Yeah.
I was wondering how the teams were actually going to play here, because I wanted to see, 10.3. We're kind of on the last end of 10.3. We didn't see Soraka banned. The Horn was banned out, and we got ourselves some fights, some skirmishes there. And a rather quick game, actually, coming out from AHQ.
It was very by the book. They were just complete control over the dragons and as well as the Rift Herald. And then towards the back, again, it was very textbook styles, if you will. And it's more like choking and making sure J-Team does not have any chance whatsoever to get back into the game. It was just putting J-Team in awkward positions. It was literally AHQ dictating the pace of the game. And it was just so beautiful to watch because clean 4 dragons, all the damage in the world for AHQ as well, with all the Infernals, the Dragon Soul, and as well as the Elder. Holy balls of fire, that was nice.
Well, AHQ is going to be the ones taking home the victory here to start things off for Game 1. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of our replays to start things off here, because there was a couple times that it felt like, well, actually, I think we're only just going to go ahead and take a look at the last replay.
Okay.
I think that's all the replays they get to give us here today, so let's go ahead and take a look. Final fight coming out here from the side of AHQ. They go in for that quick dive, and once you take home the tank, it's what can you do against Elder Baron? You're not supposed to be able to do anything.
That's super true. I felt like there was a chance for J-Team last defense if ever, Sejuani didn't fall and getting caught out of the bubble. But that was really, really well played by Uniboy, and it really opened the gates for them to take the match there and then.
So let's go ahead and take a look at our post-game breakdown. That's, of course, going to be massive damage total. Civ! Bloody monster!
Yep.
18k, almost did as much as a Misfortune, and you saw how many bullet times that came out there. 32 minutes, AHQ. And they get themselves a bit of revenge.
Yes.
Over J-Team, who beat them during the LMS Summer Final last year. So, a little bit of a revenge here. It's still only the very first game.
Yeah, it's just
of
the first
season.
match.
But you still gotta take that. You take what you can get.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And it was not even like it was close, but if I look at the objectives and the way that they controlled the map, they definitely dominated game number 1. So this must have felt really, really good for AHQ.
If you're AHQ, after a little bit of changes here, I gotta commend, it felt like Kangyo on the rec side was doing very well, but it was the pillars of this team, like Civ in the top lane was doing so well. And for me, on the side of J-Team, I'm a bit disappointed with this team. I'm very disappointed, actually. That was, you saw there, he was down almost 30 CS at 10 minutes there. And there was also some questionable choices when it came to his ult selection on the side. It's like he took away a Zoe ultimate. What are you going to be able to do with that? You're going to go ahead, steal the Zoe ultimate, and then be like, okay, what do I do now? Well, I go
dodge
in,
things,
and then I go away.
Yeah.
That's pretty much all he did. So I'm not 100% sure what his plan was there, but we'll hopefully see our MVP of the match here quite shortly. I have a strong feeling it's going to go
to Civ.
To Civ. I'm pretty sure
it should be to Civ. He did a phenomenal job. I mean, it was a little bit rough, which is normal for Gangplank and Renekton level 1, but after, especially if you pick up the pieces with level 3, and there you go, it is Civ.
Yeah, Civ going to take home the MVP. Well deserved. Was able to be a monster in the backline for the side of AHQ. So, first game done in the books here. We got a little bit of a sample so far of what PCS is at the moment, but now I'm excited. We get to go into our next matchup, was going to be Bajura taking on Resurgence. Of course, though, we will be seeing AHQ and J-Team, of course, tomorrow, so we'll see them in their other matches, and we'll see kind of how J-Team looks to try and bounce back here.
Yeah, it's going to be a classic matchup for the next one. It's going to be Malaysia versus Singapore, and I'm sure a lot of people, especially like the GPL fans out there from way, way, way back, will really, really enjoy this one.
Yeah, because unfortunately, you didn't really get to, like, we had a little bit of Malaysia versus Singapore.
From LST.
But, it wasn't JT. It wasn't GPL2 Electric.
Yeah.
All right. That's what we've come.
That's true.
That's what we've all come towards to here. But of course, like we mentioned, our next game is of course going to be Bajura taking on Resurgence. So I highly suggest you guys tune in for that one. But like if you're looking at anything else here, like what? I'm trying to think now. I've completely lost my train of thought. It's doomed.
It's all right. Like we blame Tibbers.
We can blame Tibbers? I hope we don't blame Tibbers.
All right. It's okay. Great. It's okay. It's not your fault, Tibbers. It's fine.
It's not his fault. Okay. Well, for now, we're going to go ahead and take a short break. When we come back, it's going to be more LST action. Stick around.